As restoration continued, the historic deck regained its original character, but now with important improvements for the future. With the K-Dock gone, Sibley Street could be widened, creating a more inviting approach to the river. A heated ramp was added near Broadway, giving buses access to the waiting room, and the deck was cut back by 20 feet along Kellogg Boulevard, eliminating the perilously narrow sidewalk and facilitating construction of a new passenger drop-off facility.
And that impacted the historic stairway, the single remaining vertical stairway from the waiting room to the deck.
Originally, a long line of matching masonry-enclosed staircases carried passengers between the waiting room above and the trains below. Now, only one remains, its location threatened by new construction.
The average person would look at that and just say, it's ugly, it needs to go to the landfill. But determining the historical significance of the different elements of the building is extremely difficult. Just because it's pretty doesn't make it historically significant, and just because it's ugly doesn't mean you can tear it out.
One of our basic guidelines is if the historic material is still there, you preserve it. You could see the old hand signals, painted for the train lines. You could see the old canopies. When the Union Depot was in its heyday, there were train canopies all along these rail lines, and there was only about 20 or so feet left.
1970s demolition wiped the train deck clear of tracks, platforms, and 9 of the 10 original stairs, the last probably surviving only because it was located out of the way near Kellogg Boulevard. But now that location too conflicted with renovation. So after nearly a century's journey through time, the historic stairs would begin a new journey through space.
And I'm actually looking forward to seeing how that historic relic is going to be put over here and reconstructed again. I'm looking forward to seeing the challenges that that'll bring.
Well, first off, you try to be real careful. This is a concrete structure, and brick is always a little more fragile than wood. We've got diagonal chains. We've got it wrapped up down at the bottom also and at the top. Just because there are so many cracks in the structure, we want to just keep everything in a little bit of compression.
After more than a week of careful preparation, everything was finally ready. And for 3 midsummer days in 2011, the last remaining stairway slowly journeyed south, 230 feet through its new home.
It's not a speed game anytime you're dealing with really any structure, but more so once you get into masonry, it just slows down the process a little bit. Going into the turn, we watch for any tilting, so then we can correct our steering if we're picking up a bind and the dolly is starting to lean a little bit. In this case, we'll probably run little levels on the dollies because that gives a faster indication by watching that bubble than just our naked eye looking at it.
The stairway was carried by hydraulic jacks attached to 5 sets of dollies, 40 wheels supporting an 80-ton payload. And when it's time to stop, precision is no less important. The outside corner of the stairway must be placed exactly before the entire structure can be pivoted slowly into its final position.
The dollies in the right angle pull is the primary concern at that point.